The days of being kept by a rich woman. I lay on the bed in the hotel, listening to the intimate voices of the couple next door, tossing and turning. What kind of soundproofing is this broken hotel? I looked at the time, it was 3:30 in the morning. I was depressed and touched the lighter and lit a cigarette for the boy next door. No, what can't you solve earlier? Isn't it disturbing to the neighbors in the middle of the night? Break. The door of the next room was kicked open, followed by crying, shouting, and smashing. I'm going to catch the mistress. I quickly put on my clothes and went out to eat melons. The door of the opposite room was not closed. I took a sneaky look and saw a naked woman being pulled by her hair and slapped. The mistress cried so hard that her eyes were wet, which was very pitiful. The last time I saw her cry like this was when I proposed to her. I rushed into their room in 2 steps, but instead of rescuing my fiancé, I punched the man who was standing there, hesitating to speak. Everyone in the room was stunned. Who are you? The original wife stopped slapping me and looked at me in confusion. It's okay, you continue, don't worry about me. I wanted to hit her again, but was stopped by the other 2 men. I spread my hands to indicate that I would stop hitting her, and then pointed at the woman who was kneeling on the ground and crying, she, my fiancé. The expressions of the people in the room were very interesting. I have seen people catching mistresses, but I have never seen both sides catching mistresses together. I lit another cigarette. You slapped my wife, I hit your husband, anyway, we are both cheating, it's fair, isn't it? Brother, calm down, talk it over, don't fucking hit me. A man who was in the same group as the original wife stood in front of me, and it seemed that he wanted to plead for the original wife's husband. Friend, what's your mother's last name? He didn't expect me to speak so aggressively, and raised his eyebrows. Want to fight? I was so angry now that I really wanted to fight, and it didn't matter who I fought with. Before he could say the second sentence, my fist started to fight again. 3 minutes later, everyone in the room was tired of fighting. I was beaten black and blue, and my eyebrow arch was bleeding, but it didn't hurt at all, so I sat in the corner and smoked. The original wife came over, squatted down, looked at the cigarette in my right hand, and didn't know what she was thinking. If you have to fart, just fart. She smiled, and her smile was pretty good. How do you want to deal with this matter? I'm fine with it, it's up to you, what do you want? I said with a dead pig that was not afraid of boiling water. Let's do it once, so that I can get revenge on my husband and your wife, and it's even. The unfinished cigarette fell to the ground. Even if I drank 800 bottles of 6 walnuts, I couldn't imagine that this woman would say such a thing. No, buddy, you are a fool, right? I looked at the woman like a fool. What do you mean? She was not angry, but she was probably stupid because her husband cheated on her. Your husband cheated on her because my wife is prettier and better than you. I already have my wife, why do I do that with you? This sentence may have touched her sore spot, and her brows furrowed. What do you mean? I looked at her carefully. To be honest, she was not ugly. Her eyebrows and eyes looked a bit like my girlfriend, but she was a few years older than my girlfriend. I said this because I was angry but couldn't express it. I wanted to blame her for not managing her husband well, but I didn't have the right to do it. After all, I didn't manage my girlfriend well either. Who would eat at street stalls after eating at 5-star restaurants? Get out. Get out of here. This woman was angry, it was really scary. Ava sat opposite me, applying a wet towel to her swollen face. Why? I didn't look up. I didn't want to see her face now. As soon as I saw her face, I could think of her panting in someone else's arms just now. No reason. There must be a reason, right? Am I not good enough to you? You are a good person. Hearing this, I could no longer control myself. I am a good person, you treat me like this. I flew more than 2,000 kilometers on a business trip to solve a problem for a client, but ended up encountering my wife being caught cheating. Do good people deserve to be pointed at with a gun? I roared and smashed things, trying to vent all the depression in my chest. You know you are often on business trips. After agreeing to your proposal, how many days have you been with me? Damn it. I laughed out of anger. Why do I go on business trips? Don't I need to buy a house to get married? Don't I need to give a betrothal gift? If I don't go on business trips, where will I get the money? Have I ever been on business trips so far before? Aren't I tired of running long distances? Why do I work so hard to make money? Don't I want to be with you at home? At the end, my lips trembled, trying not to let my tears fall. By the way, I haven't asked you what the bastard who slept with you does? He's richer than you and has more time than you. I shook my head and understood everything. He was waiting for me here. Oh, it's because of money. I understand. Go away and lick the asses of rich people, bitch. She sneered. You have the right to say that to me? What's wrong with me? You are devoted to me? What are you saying? What's the matter with the scar on your wrist? I touched my right wrist subconsciously. I told you 100 times that it was an injury I suffered when I was a child. Can you think normally? Who hurt you? Are you sick? I was not angry because of shame. I felt that she was making trouble for no reason. I can swear that I have absolutely no second thoughts about her. She is just grabbing a point to throw dirty water on me. After thinking about these, I have nothing to miss about her. Go away. She still sat there, not moving. Go away. She covered her mouth, cried and slammed the door. I muttered, you still have the nerve to cry, but I couldn't help but shed tears. I didn't sleep all night, and the next day I met with the client and talked nonsense. Not only was I ridiculed by the client, but this long trip was in vain. What the hell are you doing? My boss called me. The client must have complained to him. I didn't do anything. Oh, then look around you to see if there are any buildings, rivers, lakes, etc. Just jump over, don't. Sorry, Brother Larry. Don't call me brother, just call me grandson from now on. I was scolded by the client just now and I was worse than a grandson. You want to die, don't you? I sniffed, I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything about you, you're a technician. I don't know what you're capable of. You were able to handle this little problem this time, how did you make it so messed up? Brother Larry, Ava cheated on me, I caught her yesterday. There was a silence on the other end of the phone. No, fuck, your wife cheated on you, don't you have to do your job well before you're depressed? Your wife didn't cheat on me, why the fuck are you taking revenge on me? I'm sorry, go to hell, what's the point of saying sorry to me now, you don't have to work in this shitty class anymore. There was another silence on the phone. I'll give you 7 days off. Come back when you're well. I'll keep the tickets for accommodation and meals and reimburse you when you come back. Before I could say thank you, Larry hung up the phone. Tears welled up in my eyes again. I haven't been anywhere these days. I just stayed in the hotel, and then I went to a bar to drink. I got drunk and then stayed in the hotel. As soon as I entered the bar today, I saw a familiar figure, the original wife. Somehow, I sat opposite her. She squinted her eyes, saw that it was me, and smiled. Waiter, bring another glass. She poured me half a glass of vodka and poured herself half a glass. After clinking glasses, we drank it in one gulp. You look down on me, don't you? I thought she was still angry about what I said that day, but she said, are you raising fish? I reacted and drank the wine, and she poured me another one. The atmosphere was a bit awkward, and I didn't know what to say for a moment. What's your name? Leo. Fuck, my ex-boyfriend also had the same name. My name is not common, I guess this woman is really drunk. That bitch, a big scumbag. Oh, so she is scolding me in a roundabout way. My husband is also a big scumbag, fuck, why are all the men I meet scumbags? What's your name? I changed the subject. Fiona. Yes, she is a Western woman. We chatted casually, and she lay on the table and didn't move. I pushed her to make sure she was asleep and not dead, thinking about where to send her later. Hello, sir. Can you settle the bill first? Hasn't she settled the bill? No, sir. I tried to push Lily, but she was sleeping like a dead pig, and she kept mumbling, push your mother. Looking at the waiter's professional smile, burning eyes, and the corners of her mouth that were trying hard not to tremble, I felt embarrassed to ask the waiter to ask her for it. How much is it? A total of 8,820, sir, you can pay 8,800, cash or card? Card. Maybe because I drank too much, my tongue was a little knotted. Every time I pressed the password, my heart skipped a beat. This is all my hard-earned money. Well, can you issue it? Forget it, it's okay. I wanted to get an invoice, but then I thought, wouldn't Larry be furious when he saw this 8,000 plus business trip invoice? I carried Lily on my back, she was completely asleep, she didn't try hard at all, I was sweating all over. Where should I take her? The most important thing is that she kept panting and blowing my ears, it was itchy and hot. I put her on the bench, loosened her collar, and took a rest. Looking at her red cheeks from drinking and the necklace looming around her neck, a strange idea popped into my mind. I turned my head away and shook my head vigorously. No matter how good a girl is, she is not worth 8,800 a night. When I turned my head, I saw a hotel, brightly lit, as if waving at me. Hello, do you want a standard room or a king-size bedroom? Whatever is available. I was thinking about asking the front desk to open a room quickly, because I really couldn't carry her anymore, and I felt that she was going to vomit. If she vomited all over me, it would be a fucking zoo. Then? The waiter glanced at Lily on my back. I'll open a big bed for you. Okay, just hurry up. The other little girl standing at the front desk lowered her head and smiled, probably because she had never seen someone as impatient as me. I was too lazy to explain. You're carrying something that's about to vomit, and you're still anxious. The moment I threw this woman on the bed, my heart was completely relieved. I only brought this set of clothes for this business trip, and it would be difficult for me to deal with it if she vomited all over me. Okay, just sleep like this. I didn't dare to do the idle drama plot of taking off clothes for a drunk girl. This is not a movie, who the hell knows how far it will go. I covered her with the quilt, put the mineral water on the bedside, and prepared to leave. Before leaving, I remembered it, found paper and pen, and wrote a sentence to her. 8,800 for drinks, 500 for room, I paid 9,300 for you, transfer the money to me when you wake up, my card number. After doing all this, I quietly closed the door and left. When I went downstairs, I was still in a bad mood. I didn't drink much of the wine, but I spent 9,300. I didn't know if this woman could uphold the moral principles of the underworld and transfer the money to me. I just passed the front desk fanning myself and wiping my sweat. The girl muttered softly, so anxious and so fast. Huh? I turned around and stared at her. What did you say? Another boy quickly explained. Takeout, takeout. She said takeout. She was anxious to eat, and said takeout can be delivered quickly. Fuck. I was dissatisfied, but there was nothing I could do. Damn it, if it was really that fast, I would accept it, but I didn't do anything. The next day, there was no movement on the bank card. The third day, there was still no movement on the bank card. The fourth day, a text message came, telling me that it was time to pay off the credit card. Day 5, damn. I have to go back to work. Actually, I have to say that after talking to this woman, my depression has been relieved a lot, and it seems not so uncomfortable anymore. Later I thought, it's not that the depression has been relieved, but that the depression has been transferred. From the depression of being cheated on, it has been transferred to the depression of losing more than 9,000 yuan. Life has to go on. After deleting and blocking all of Ava's contact information, I told myself that everything was over and I could start over. I returned to the company. I was the Leo who occasionally slacked off, complained when I had to go on a business trip, and left work on time. It was just that Larry was very strange. He said that I was like an old tractor, working in bursts. Either I worked hard, or I was dawdling, and occasionally made mistakes. Actually, it wasn't. I just became the me before, the me who didn't know Ava. I thought my life would go on like this, muddled and enjoyable. God's will is playing tricks on me. One day, when I was sitting at my workstation with my legs crossed, eating a hand-pulled pancake, and typing code, I saw Larry, like a grandson, greet Lily and enter my company. Maybe it's because my style is too unique. She saw me at a glance, smiled lightly, and said something to Larry. Larry walked towards me with an embarrassed and surprised look on his face. Come with me to the conference room, the big client wants to talk to you. With me? Yes, stop talking nonsense, let's go. When we got to the conference room and sat down, Lily's eyes seemed to be fixed on my face, and Larry was completely blinded. Well, let me introduce you, this is our company's new big client, Teacher Lily. Larry stood up. This is our company's technician, Leo. Then Larry looked at the woman again. Xiao Lu is only a technical person in charge, not very familiar with the product. I don't know what you mean by calling him here. Let's talk together, I like to talk about technology. She said to Larry, her eyes still looking at me. Okay, then take a look at what you want to know, Xiao Lu and I will answer you together. Do you have time to have dinner together later? Lily asked. Yes. Sick. The first sentence was said by Brother Larry, and the second sentence was said by me. Xiao Lu. Why are you interrupting me? Speak when I tell you to. Then Brother Larry laughed dryly. Don't mind it, Xiao Lu hasn't been feeling well recently. He said he's sick. I'll eat with you later. It's okay. I just asked if he has time. Yeah, I said it. You must be? What the hell? Brother Larry swore in front of a client, which was very rare. I want to ask you, what did you do to me that night? She leaned forward and got very close to me. At night? What night? Brother Larry looked at me, then at Lily, feeling redundant. Please watch the VCR. I took out my phone and showed her a video. In order to prevent trouble, I recorded a video from entering the hotel room, to covering her with a blanket, to closing the door and leaving. In this day and age, even a married couple could be accused of rape. How could I not be more careful? After watching the video, Lily's mouth curled up, and I don't know what she was thinking. Larry stretched his neck to see what was in the video, but he couldn't see anything because of the light problem. In the end, he could only cover his head and sigh. Since we've talked about that night, when will you pay me back the 9,300? What 9,300? Lily and Larry said in unison. You don't know? I definitely don't know. I glared at Larry. Who the hell asked you? I don't know either. She leaned back and smiled playfully. No, are we still talking about business? Are you two dating here? Ball mouth. Lily and I said in unison. You mean you want to default on your debt? Did I ask you to pay for me? I won't do this project anymore. I won't ask you to do it if you do it. Enough. Brother Larry slammed the table. Fuck you, you are the boss and I am the boss? Then Brother Larry apologized to Lily again. I'm so sorry, I apologize to you on behalf of Xiao Lu, please think about it again. It's okay to do it, let him have dinner with me later. Eat, don't worry, leave it to me, it's okay for him to eat shit. Because Brother Larry threatened me with 3 months' salary and gave me a 20,000 bonus after the project was completed, I agreed to have dinner with Lily. No, you don't have a Chinese name, always Lily, Lily, it's awkward. You can also call me Lily Lily. Fuck, I'd better call you Lao Lai, Lai Lai. She smiled and didn't refute anything. Thank you for that day. You're welcome, just give me the money back. No, it's just 9,000 yuan, is it that serious? What? What do you mean by 9,000 yuan? My monthly salary is only 8,000 yuan. My last boyfriend ran away with your husband because I was poor. How about this? She leaned closer again, her movements were very ambiguous, and I quickly dodged. I'll give you 20,000 yuan a month, and I'll support you. You're really sick. I stood up to leave. You're not going to do the project anymore. Who the hell are you threatening? After saying this, I sat down. The meal was tasteless. I don't know why, but being with this woman makes me upset, as if I owed her money in my last life and she came to take revenge on me in this life. We didn't talk much, just had a simple meal. After eating, she gave me an address and asked me to bring the contract there tomorrow to sign and stamp. So happy? As a man, you have to keep your word. After the deal was done, I didn't worry too much about the 9,000 yuan. Larry is a very reliable person. He said he would give me a bonus of 20,000 yuan. After calculating, my salary this month is much higher. The next day, I flew more than 2,000 kilometers to sign a contract with Lai Lai. Her company is very generous. I don't know what method Larry used to trick her into buying products from us. Today she wore a professional suit and looked very capable. Her behavior was no longer frivolous, but more majestic. After explaining the details and terms of the contract, she asked me a lot of technical questions. It turns out that this woman really understands technology, which really makes me look at her in a new light. Of course, technology is my strong point, and I will definitely not be stumped by her questions. I didn't expect you to be so good at it. Then take a look. I shrank back into the swivel chair, and then suddenly stood up and sat up straight. I don't know why, but I feel very relaxed when I'm with her, just like being with a pair of enemies. The action I just did is something I would never dare to do when I'm with other clients. How about this, you quit your job and come to me, I'll give you a base salary of 20,000, and performance is another consideration, okay, you want to support me again? No, you're worth it, I'm not kidding this time, you come to our company to be a technical supervisor, forget it. I waved my hand, I'm doing well with Larry. Why? Boss Lou only gives you 8,000 a month, isn't that a waste of talent? I was silent at first, then explained. I won't tell you too much, Larry and I are not an ordinary boss and employee relationship. Larry helped me when I was the most destitute and had no food, and he also taught me all my skills. Now the company's performance is not good, I'm leaving again, it's not that matter. Lai Lai nodded, and didn't persuade me anymore. Then when you have the idea of changing jobs, you can contact me. Okay, don't worry, I would rather jump off a building than change jobs to your company. After saying this, I picked up the signed contract and left this large company. As soon as I went downstairs, I received a call from brother Larry, and the first thing he said was fuck you. What's wrong? Don't go back to the company, fly directly to Jinan, there is a problem with the customer over there, go and take a look. Okay. This time I didn't argue with Lao Zhang. I know the customer in Jinan is the largest customer of our company. If there is a problem with him, the compensation will be an astronomical figure, and our company will just go bankrupt on the spot. Mr. Zhang, what's the problem here? Xiaolu, come here, take a look at what your company's software has analyzed for us. I didn't waste any words, first took a look at the software background, there was no problem. I ran the program again, and there was still no problem, and it has been on the market for several years, and there are no problems. Mr. Zhang, this is fine. I don't even have the confidence to say this, because according to the data results of the software, Mr. Zhang's company is not far from bankruptcy. Xiaolu. Mr. Zhang laughed angrily. We have been cooperating for such a long time. You have seen the scale of my company. It is not convenient for me to give you the financial statements, but I know that there is no problem. Now you tell me that the company is going to go bankrupt? Mr. Zhang, I don't mean that. This software is also based on big data analysis, and then calculated and integrated by artificial intelligence. It does not say that your company will definitely go bankrupt, but tells you that your company has, the risk of bankruptcy. Okay, I spend so much money every year to buy your crappy software, just to curse me, right? What does it say in the contract? Mr. Zhang, calm down. Mr. Zhang pushed me away, picked up the landline and made a call, asked someone to send the contract, and then roughly flipped the pages, pointing his index finger at a clause. You will pay for the data deviation of more than 30%, right? This is written in the contract, right? Then, he turned to the next page, compensation based on the amount of loss of our company, no problem, right? Then he turned on the computer again, the result derived by your software is that our company will go bankrupt within half a year, right? If my watching group is still there within half a year, you will wait for me. Don't be like this, Mr. Zhang, this is just a result, you don't have to I don't care about the result or not, our company bought your products and we will follow the contract. Don't blame me for being ruthless. Go back and ask Brother Larry, what did he promise me at the beginning, but he ended up making a pile of shit for me. I have something else to do, you should leave quickly. Back at the company, Brother Larry seemed to have aged 10 years in an instant, just slumped in a chair, smoking one cigarette after another. Impossible, how could it be possible? I also lowered my head, smoking, not knowing what to say. It's really impossible. We have been using this software for so long, how could such a serious problem occur? Could someone be trying to cheat us? I shook my head. Brother Larry was so anxious that he was stupid. How could it be possible? Who would look up to our small company? Besides, you are also a person who understands technology. If someone tampered with our software, would the backend not receive any information? Could it be that Huacheng is really going to go bankrupt? I laughed. Are you fucking confused? Such a big company can go bankrupt just like that? Then I reminded him, Huacheng still has half a year, let's study this matter again. The question now is whether this software will be sold or not, and whether the ones that have been sold will be removed from the shelves. I took a deep puff of cigarette. If it is removed from the shelves, can we afford the penalty? If it is not removed from the shelves, can we bear the problem of Huacheng again? I paused. The product we just signed with Bina Group is also this product. If it is really removed from the shelves, the penalty for this order will be enough to make us drink a pot. Bina Group is Lai Lai's company, and the product they signed is also this product. Brother Larry's eyes were straight, and I don't know if he was stimulated and stupid. Xiao Lu, you should know the CEO of Bina, otherwise, you go and talk to him? I sighed. This is definitely not something I can refuse, Brother Larry. I really have to deal with this matter, but I get a headache when I think about having contact with that woman. That woman is always flirting and always asking for a mistress. Which man can stand it? What do you want to talk to me about this time? You want to change jobs so soon? No. Mr. Lai, no, Lily, Mr. Fei, I came here to talk to you about something. Oh, it's not easy for you to talk to me like this. I told her the whole story. The general meaning is that the product signed in the contract has a small problem and needs to be debugged. See if she can postpone the delivery. If she is in a hurry, we can refund the full amount, or even a little more. What if I don't agree? Look, we are familiar with each other. You are generous and can make it convenient for me. I don't know what this woman is thinking now. She just keeps looking at me and laughing, which makes me feel uneasy. Okay, the same conditions. I'll give you 20,000 yuan a month and support you. If you agree, you can postpone the delivery. Fuck? Which support? Are you coming to your company to be a technical supervisor? No, the support I mentioned the first time. I swallowed the word sick back into my stomach. Boss Fei, please be kind and don't embarrass me. What? I'm not worthy of you? I'm not as pretty as your ex-girlfriend? Not as good as her? Or not as rich as her? I was wrong, I was really wrong, I apologize to you. That day I was really stupid, don't be like me. She got up from the boss chair and stood in front of me. Just as I was about to stand up, she pushed me back to the chair and lifted my chin with her index finger with a faint floral scent. I still like the unruly you. Before I could answer, she sat back in the chair. Tell me in detail, which company has the problem? Boss Fei, we have a confidentiality agreement. There is still a confidentiality agreement, then you go back, keep it secret yourself. There was really no other way. I told Lai Lai about the situation of Huacheng Group and the problem with their software. She didn't interrupt, just listened, occasionally wrote something on paper, and then smiled. After that, she said she agreed to delay delivery and let me go back. I didn't expect her to be so easy to talk to. Although we know each other, we are definitely not friends, and we can even say that there are some minor conflicts. I was quite touched that she could help me like this. Although the big company looked down on our liquidated damages, who would have trouble with money? Thank you so much this time. I thank you on behalf of our company. After saying that, I bowed to Lai Lai. I've already said that I like the rebellious you. If you do this again, I will regret it. I didn't dare to say anything more and fled the office like a fly. When Larry heard the news, his sad face finally relaxed a little. As long as this order is not a breach of contract, our company's capital chain will not be broken, and there will be room for easing. The final result of our discussion was that the product would be stopped from being sold first, and the ones that have been sold would continue to be maintained and kept under constant attention. If all of them are really recalled, we can't afford the loss. Fortunately, our company survived temporarily. In the next few months, I basically had no personal life. I kept running business and promoting other services and products of our company, trying to make the company have more cash flow to deal with the upcoming bomb of Huacheng Group. Larry was even more exhausted, sleeping only 2 hours a day and pulling projects all over the world. 1 month before Huacheng went bankrupt, there was good news and bad news. The good news was that Huacheng went bankrupt. The bad news was that Larry was sick. The worst news was that Larry's illness was very serious, and even if we gave Larry the full amount of compensation that should have been paid to Hua Cheng, it might not be cured. I sat by Larry's bed and peeled apples for him. He didn't eat it even after I peeled it, so I took a bite and snorted. It's good, the company is saved, and we don't have to pay Hua Cheng any more money. Brother, why don't we sell the company and use the money to treat your illness? You are talking nonsense, is the company my own? I can sell it just like that. Sell it, I'll go back and tell everyone, and everyone will agree. Sell it for nothing, how much can it sell for? Even if I have money, I may not be able to cure my illness, and my brothers are out of food. I sniffed, we can find a way out ourselves. Find a bullshit. Really, there is a company that offered me $20,000 a month to change jobs, but I didn't go. Which company is blind enough to hire you for $20,000? He said, coughing violently a few times, and I quickly patted his back to help him calm down. No, you're so awesome at developing that software. You said Hua Cheng would go bankrupt and it really went bankrupt. Hey, what's so awesome about it? I feel like we're just lucky. There's still something wrong with that software. Why do I feel like that software is still accurate? Take a break. You're out of breath. I'm afraid you'll talk and pass out. I left the ward and hid in the fire escape, trying not to cry out loud. The last time I cried like this was when I found out that Ava had cheated on me. My cell phone rang. It was Lili calling me. I cleared my throat. Hello, I heard that Larry is sick? Yeah. Why don't you come to our company? You don't have many projects right now. You still have to make money to pay for Larry's medical treatment, right? Okay, this time I didn't refuse her because I knew she was right. When I arrived at Lili's company, I was working hard to make money. She knew I was in a bad mood and didn't joke with me. She only talked to me about business and technology. This time, I really had a crush on Lili. I even thought that if she wasn't kidding me, it would be nice if we could really get together, but I quickly put this unrealistic idea behind my mind. She was just a person with a non-serious personality. I was the first one who didn't believe that she was interested in me. If she really liked me, she was interested in my technical ability. At the end of the month, Lili gave me a card. I didn't understand what it meant. Repay your money. What money? The 9,000 yuan you paid for me that time. I smiled and didn't refuse. I really needed money now. When I got to the bank and inserted the card, I saw that there was 100,000 yuan in it. I quickly called Lili. 9,300 is for you to pay back, and the rest is for you to borrow. Use it to treat Larry first, and remember to pay me back later. After saying this, she hung up the phone. I clenched my hands, and I couldn't tell what I felt in my heart. Larry's disease has been cured, but he has to spend money to keep alive. The doctor also suggested surgery, but the cost of surgery is very expensive. At least Larry and I can't raise that much money. But this result is much better than I expected. The next thing is to make money. Larry's company still has to support a large number of people, barely ensuring a balance between income and expenditure. In fact, I am the main force in saving money. I suddenly understand Ava a little bit, because at certain times, it is really not okay to have no money. She abandoned morality and ran for money. It can't be said that she has no humanity at all, but she has different ideas. Lili helped me a few times, and my good impression of her also rose sharply. I have to admit that this woman is still very charming, capable, and pretty. When she doesn't tease people, she is a very good woman. After get off work, I occasionally accompany her to eat and go shopping, and she will also show her little woman side. Seeing the beautiful balloons, she couldn't walk and would bargain with the street vendors. I stood not far away and watched her. Her shadow was so long under the street lamp that it was just printed on my chest. It's my birthday tomorrow. Come with me for dinner. Okay. The next day, she took me to a 5-star hotel. I was a little uncomfortable with the warm hospitality of the hotel waiters. What do you want to eat? I didn't say anything because I had never heard of the name of the dishes in the restaurant. Bring one of your most delicious special dishes first. Lili didn't look at the menu. Okay, wait a moment. The special dish was steak, not too big. There were 2 waiters standing behind us. I ate a piece and the waiter cut a piece and put it on my plate. I couldn't eat any more. Is this your first time in a 5-star hotel? Lili looked at my embarrassed look and started to tease me. It is. Is it delicious? I smacked my lips vigorously. The steak was tender but light, even with the sauce, and there was a faint smell of blood. Maybe rich people like this taste. It's just average. I didn't dare to say it was not delicious directly, for fear that Lili would think I was being rude. Well, I think it's just average too. Let's go to another place. In my surprised eyes, Lili pulled me out of the restaurant and went to a roadside stall and ordered a lot of skewers. I couldn't imagine that such a successful woman and female boss would eat at a roadside stall. Try this. I took a bite and smiled like a fool. It was indeed delicious. She clinked glasses with me and drank the full beer in one gulp. Do you still feel that you don't like eating at street stalls anymore because you're used to eating at five-star restaurants? Well, she's waiting for me here. Sister, stop talking, I'll punish myself with a glass of wine. This time, we drank much more happily than last time, and there were more topics to talk about. When we were both tipsy, her face began to turn red again, just like the way she looked when she was lying on my back that day. If I can be with her in this life, it seems to be a very happy thing. Come and send me off tomorrow. Where to? To the United States. What for? Settling down, not coming back. The string in my hand fell to the ground. While she didn't notice, I quickly picked it up, blew it, and put it in my mouth again. Why is it so sudden? You gave me my salary, you gave me my company, you helped me solve my problems, but you still consider me as your mistress? Haha. Okay, if I have a chance in the future, I will sleep with you once to make sure that I am your mistress. When will you come back? If nothing unexpected happens, you probably won't come back. I have given you many chances, haven't I? Yes, she has given me many chances. She has hinted to me many times, openly and secretly. Last night she almost asked me directly, and what about me? I never recognized her as Linglong. How dare I pester her now? The plane is about to take off, my phone is turned off, everything is fine, we will meet again if we are destined to. The next day, I received another message on my phone. It was Linglong. Does it feel good to lose someone? Very bad. Do you regret not coming back to find me that year? I regret it. Do you regret not agreeing to go to the United States with me that day? I regret it. It's okay if you regret it. I'm just kidding. I'm going to the United States on a business trip and will be back next week.